Hello everyone and welcome back to more of this year's tournament arc for anime Villainous. It's your boy Chaos, and today we are starting round 2 of this year's tournament arc. All of the round 1 games have finished, and we're getting into round 2, which will decide our semi-finalists. So the first matchup we're gonna have is at the bottom right over here with Azurehorizon versus Dgessner. Both very long-time members of the community. They've been playing competitive for about as long as Annabelle has been around, so we should have some really good games here. Let's get into it. All right, and here we go with Dgessner versus Azure, otherwise known as Outlast Duo 570. He goes by Azurehorizon 448 and Outlast Duo 570. What's with the numbers, man? It's going to be Dgessner is going to be our starting player. What's with these numbers, man? I know you're watching this, Azure. You better give it an explanation in chat. But let's see who Dgessner is going to ban. These are two very going to ban Toguro immediately. I think Azure has been playing a lot of Toguro in qualifiers since Bloodbath came out, really. And they're going to see a Yaldabaoth ban from Azure. Both of these very popular picks in the meta right now, I would say. And it is going to be Oculus and Merrick. Oculus and Merrick. Yo, I get a Merrick thumbnail. Let's go. But Oculus and Merrick. All right. This is Dgessner is going first. If Merrick, I mean, he always benefits from this, obviously. If Merrick can get an early Kaiba or Yugi, which is always good for him, but I think especially in this matchup, not just an early God card holder, specifically an early Kaiba or Yugi plus an early Millennium Rod. If Merrick can get either of those, or can get both of those early, the Rod plus either Obelisk or Slifer, I think that it's going to be pretty decently in his favor. But if he struggles to pick up his Rod as well as an early God card holder, I'm going to see a Shizu immediately here, which is unfortunate for Azure, but could be worse. It could have been Kaiba or Yugi. But if he doesn't hurry into the Millennium Rod and a God card holder, it could really put him on the back foot against Oculus when Oculus hits his mid game. We're going to see an Arbiter just discarding all of that nonsense because it's none of what Dgessner wants to see right now. And Azure will be going to Kybercraft 3 and going straight for a Fate. Early Machiko with Mistake. That's really funny. So that Machiko will just play out mistakes. There's going to need to be an activate at some point to get rid of that. And we will see an Innocent Facade and gets Kaiba. There's part 1 of the prophecy. Yugi would have been ideal, but Kaiba is very, very good here. I think there was a possibility where Azure might have been considering just playing Bakura and then using the Vanquish to blow up a Shizu. But you have to take the early Obelisk here, and he is going to cover dual tower. That's typically what I do when I play whatever this guy is called, Merrick. Ooh, Joey into anti-rule is quite unfortunate. At least it wasn't Joey into a tournament bracket. Joey into tournament bracket would have been abysmal there. We're going to see another Arbiter thrown out. Very important for Oculus to just burn through his deck as fast as he can to get to Ginty, especially against Merrick in this matchup with an early Obelisk. What Dgessner really wants is to get the Ginty engine up and going so that he can put out some major fates. We are going to see Loomis. Azure is really hoping to get an early, it's going to be Waking Tree, not Ginty quite yet. What he really wants to get is an early Umbra here for the easy Kaiba kill. And then we'll see another Fate. Well, Black-Haired Woman is a little unfortunate, but you definitely do Black-Haired Woman here. It does force what this does mean is that the first Nona play has to be used well, it doesn't have to be, but will most likely be used to get rid of Black-Haired Woman, so it stops Nona being played directly into, like, Ginty or what have you. And we are going to see a Rare Hunter into getting Bakura out. Unfortunately, not in a good position, but there are no Millennium items out right now, so having Bakura in general either to hit with a Sadistic Glee or to hit with, we're going to see a Tomb Keepers here instead of the anti-roll. I probably would have just taken the anti-roll, yeah, because this hand blows. This hand is terrible. I probably would have just gone for the anti-roll. And you can't give him back an Innocent Facade, so this does nothing, actually. You're just going to put back in the card you discard, because Innocent Facade would help him. Yeah, I think that was a... I think Dgessner was really banking on nabbing a Millennium item there, or potentially a a Shadow Game, but I think he should have looked at this discard pile, because especially with just Innocent Facade in there, there was really no reason to do that. And then we saw another Arbiter out. Going to be a Cruel Puppeteer and then a full discard, because that hand is atrocious. Cruel Puppeteer is really useful to try and nab Millennium Rod, or Ring even, and get him out quick. We're going to see an Unfurled Lotus into some discarding. Oh, we're going to see a Battle of Life, actually, and using one of the Arbiters, because he had a surplus to kill Machiko. Why did they stop the... This is when you play a hero, not when you defeat a hero. They thought that was trap card, the defeat trigger. So we're going to see Azure go back over to Kybercraft, I believe it is, to get a Fate off. Probably just throw Yosuke on Quindecum and don't use his ability just because he has the most strength. Why would you play Ymura? Oh, because he does actually want to try and take stuff out of his hand. But you can't... He was hoping to catch Ginty here, I guess. It would have been a very strong play if he had caught Ginty. I probably still would have just played Yosuke for the sake of the strength. And he's not going to put anything in there, because putting any of those in there would start to set up the Nona train later. We're going to see Arcana played directly into the Ishizu kill. This is fantastic, because it opens up Pharaoh's Tomb and also gives him, I presume, a Shadow Game to put on Kaiba. He wants that Shadow Game on Kaiba ASAP. So if Dgessner pulls a Tomb Keepers and wants to get rid of the Shadow Game, he can, but that will leave the top Fate open. And he's actually just going to get a tournament bracket for Ishizu. I think Ishizu's the only target in there. Taya might be in there? I don't remember. One of these last three is Yugi. Man, playing Ishizu into Bakura kind of sucks here. I wonder if maybe just throwing out Heart of the Cards might have been better. And we are going to see Azure taking back an Innocent Facade because he wants to nab Yugi here above all else. So not getting one of the Millennium items, but I think it's worth it because if he gets Yugi here, he is in a great position. No, Azure started taking his turn by mistake when it wasn't his turn yet. We are going to see the Nona play, get rid of Black-Haired Woman, and then just move her over one. I probably would have gone ahead and used... Oh, no, he's an Unfurled Lotus. He can't use his Nona ability. We're going to see Misaki thrown out here and just taking away the gain 1 and move at Vijinti to make those Fates weaker. I think that's probably the right thing to do. And then we'll see the Innocent. Ooh, the very bottom card is Yugi. But this top Fate is for sure locked. So as long as... Oh, he's going to Tomb Keeper into the other Innocent Facade, so he's good to go. You absolutely take the other Innocent Facade here with Tomb Keeper so that you can go to Domino and get Yugi next turn. There is nothing more important for him here than getting Yugi in play, and I would probably just throw Yugi on Dual Tower with Kaiba. He's going to play Mai, actually. I hope he has a Rare Hunter in hand. If he has a Rare Hunter in hand, this is fine. I don't really know why. I mean, the trick with playing Mai here is that there's no hero movement in Bakura's or in Merrick's Fate deck, so you can try to like stack up all of the heroes at Dual Tower just so that it makes it a lot harder for Dgessner to get a hero play onto Pharaoh's Tomb. And then we'll see him do some discarding and end his turn. We're going to see an Unfurled Lotus being put in to gain an extra 3 and then gain 3 at Nona Ginta. Then we will see the Waking Tree activate to get rid of Mistake. Another Arbiter being thrown out. Plenty of power on board. Got an Unfurled Lotus in the pile. And it's Quinn, not... what's his name? Still not Ginty. Low Ginty and low Darts has been unfortunate for Dgessner, but he's very close to getting things underway. You better have a Rare Hunter or another Innocent here. You need to get Yugi right here, right now. Oh, no. Terrible decision by Azure to not guarantee the Yugi pull. Maybe he put Yugi 3 down to stop Dgessner from being able to pull him, and that's why he played Mai, but unless I'm stupid, he should have just done the Tomb Keeper into... Because he had another Innocent Facade in the discard, didn't he? Or no, wait, when he Cruel Puppeteered, did he pull his Innocent Facade out of the discard and thus he didn't have one in the discard? That might be what happened, which is unfortunate that he just happened to pull from the discard there in that case. We're going to see another Fate, and he's going to get Takashi and Shigeru here. Miyamoto. I think that must be what happened. He pulled that Innocent Facade that was in his discard. He didn't pull an Innocent Facade from his deck, so he still hasn't drawn into another Rare Hunter. But there was a disposable... We saw him discard a disposable pawn earlier. Oh, I think he was at 0 power, though, so he wouldn't be able to go to dual tower, do the Vanquish on a Shizu with Bakura, and play the disposable pawn, unfortunately. Because he was 1 power shy. We're going to see Shigeru played to replay Ymera and then just put in a happy face, because this is a happy and an angry face now. Old Maid is a good one to put in there, because Old Maid is a free Ymera clash, essentially. Well, not free, it costs 2, but you know what I mean. We are going to see Umbra played at Pharaoh's Tomb. Yeah, I was about to say, you want to get Kaiba out of here pretty quick. What he really needs is to get Millennium Rod out. If Azure can get Millennium Rod out and kill Kaiba in the next, like, 2 turns, Deckham and Ginty are both out now, so he's a little behind the 8 ball right now, Azure is. He's got to speed up. He's got a lot of heroes out in play, though, with an open Pharaoh's Tomb, which is a little in his favor. We're going to see the Innocent, so I was about to say he did put Yugi on top. I think that he baited Dgessner into thinking Yugi was 3 down, and he is going to put Yugi at Bakura. Honestly, I don't hate that, because you want to do this, although I still feel like I probably would have just slapped him at dual tower, because there are so many heroes there already, and you're going to kill Kaiba first anyway, so that way you can just focus on Bakura getting the Ishizu kill and hopefully playing Ishizu. We see Mai and Mayu here, so Mai can play someone from the discard pile. I'm not sure if there's anyone in there. I don't think we've seen either of the 2 4-strengthers yet, so there's not like anyone especially strong in there to pull out. Oh, but Michiko's in there, of course. You play Michiko to stop and activate. Get Michiko out, get a mistake out. Unfortunately, you can't really use Michiko to cover Viginti. That is not what Mistake does. It attaches to Oculus. But you can't put her at Viginti because Quinn is there, so all 2 strengthers are dead here. Now, you could put her there just to take away the gain 1 move, but I do think it's better to toss her at either the back room or Quindecum. Gotta remember all these location names. Am I recording? I sure am. Whew, I was worried for a second there. I thought I wasn't recording for a second. That would have been less than ideal. Dgessner's putting in a lot of thought. Shout out to Dgessner for actually playing Oculus this time, by the way, proving that he's not a fraud after he played against Oculus instead of as Oculus in his round 1 game. Still a little bit of a fraud, but significantly less of a fraud now. He is going to go on over to Viginti, probably just activate Nona with Walking Tree or Waking Tree. Did he move into Ginty and then do it? Oh, he can't Waking Tree because his discard pile is empty, so he had to do it that way. We are going to see Heart of the Cards here because there's no hero target. Dgessner does not have his turning degrees set up high to quick turn cards, which is interesting. Oh, we are just gonna go get the Kaiba kill here, really? Honestly, I'd probably be going to Domino and getting some power here, to be honest. It's not like killing Kaiba right now is going to give you any major benefit. He's not going anywhere. The kills you have set up aren't going anywhere. And Mai is still blocking here, so you're not going to gain any power. He does get to throw out a trap card, though, so going ahead and paying that Kaiba tax now, I probably, honestly, would have kept up some fate pressure before Taya shows up on Pharaoh's Tomb. It's a twister, a twister. And then we're going to see a Mimine activate to kill probably Shigeru here. He's going to kill Michiko. She's got to be reshuffled to get back in. We're going to see a trap card, which is going to trigger Tombkeeper's Destiny. Ooh, that's a really good hand. He really wants to go to Domino and throw out that Millennium Ring, get to 2 strength. Then he just has to get Slifer. Ooh, he had a Shadow Game in the discard, though, so that can get the Shadow Game on Yugi, and then he just needs 2 strength for Bakura to be able to get that kill. Getting Slifer and getting a Millennium item out are very important right now. He's going to go over to Pharaoh's Tomb, which means he's not going to be getting Millennium Ring or the Shadow Game out. Honestly, Ymera's going to be killed this turn. You probably do want some more fate pressure here. I mean, I don't hate Tatsumi here, to be honest. Yeah, take away that gain 1 move and then just shuffle back in Twister. Yeah, it's not bad. So now Waking Tree can't be activated on this turn. And Dgessner still has 1 of each in here, and 1 of them is the form. We do have a rare Hunter, hoping for an anti-rule. Got a tournament bracket instead. There's nothing in there. I think Taya is the only hero left that isn't out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We are going to see a mind read. That'll kill Tatsumi and open back up that gain 1 move. And then we'll see a Heart of the Cards Fate. And he did get Taya to the top Fate, which is what he wanted to see. Dgessner is about to start zooming, which to me means that Azure really needs to go to Domino and get the Shadow Game on Yugi, or just to get Millennium Ring out. I kind of prefer Millennium Ring immediately, just so before it can get hit by a Tomb Keeper, but it is going to be the Shadow Game. I don't hate that either. But he needs to kill Yugi very quickly here. And then get a Millennium item out so he can clash a Shizu and try and snag getting her back. We're going to see Air Hockey to defeat Shigeru, and then a Nona activate to put him in, and then we're going to see a pull. And did not get the pull, but now he has a guaranteed one here, and he got the clash on Ymera by playing Old Maid. So this is probably warrants a Fate from Azure, unless he has a... I could see going to Dual Tower if you have the Yugi kill, but... And he is going to go to Dual Tower. And we are going to see another Rare Hunter. Really wants Anti-Rule here, and it is Anti-Rule. That is fantastic for him right now. And then he gets the kill on Yugi. So that is 2 God cards. What he really, really wants now, he has the Millennium Ring in hand, but what he really, truly wants is Millennium Rod. If he can get Millennium Rod out and then start clashing Mai, Ishizu, mind-controlling Joey into, like, sadistic glees... He can run away with this. His problem right now is that Azure... You're going to see a Clavis play here, I assume. Indeed we are, so that he can get the guaranteed Deckham pull here. And then I think he still has his move action, so then he'll be able to move Nona to Waking Tree and activate her to get another one in to set up next turn. He's going to play Unfurled Lotus, actually. And then, yeah, we do that move. And then he can just put Unfurled Lotus back in with his ability. With Unfurled Lotus's ability next turn, since he can't do the Nona play by playing Unfurled Lotus. Gonna do Tomb Keepers, and he did get Millennium Rod. That's very unfortunate for Azure. Ooh, I wouldn't have given him back a Sadistic Glee. Well, with Millennium Rod gone, it should be fine. Honestly, if I were Azure, I would probably let Dgessner have this turn. And, oh no, he had Strings in hand. Never mind, this is the right play. You Fate and then have Strings gain you 3. Because now he can go clash Mai and, by playing out Millennium Ring. He might still go to Domino, gain 3, and do the Ring play. That Tomb Keeper's hit on Rod, that was very lucky for Dgessner that Rod happened to be in hand there. It would have been good to hit Millennium Ring still, but... Hitting Rod there might honestly give... It might end up giving Dgessner the game. Because Azure has some power, thanks to that Strings play and all, to really build it up, and not having Millennium Rod is rough. We're going to see both Mind Reads put in due to Yosuke. And we're going to see Unfurled Lotus going in to gain 3. Both Mind Reads are in there, so there's no way, I believe, to activate Deckham here. And it looks like Dgessner is going to try and just load this, because there's 1 happy and 3 angry in here. Well, maybe not. He's debating if he wants to load this with angry faces to try and just luck out on not pulling the happy face. Oh, he's actually going to play Billiards to get the Mind Read out and activate it. Ooh, yeah. Could Yosuke not have... I guess the other Unfurled Lotus must have been in Azure's, or in Dgessner's hand, which is very lucky for Azure if that were the case. I don't think there's any heroes in there. So this is just... oh no, Bakura's still in there. Never mind. Was that another Tomb Keepers there? I probably would have Tomb Keepers and gotten rid of the Millennium Ring there. Actually, I think would have been better. Here, I think you could go to Dual Tower to clash Mai, but I think you just... Oh no, you have the 3 power. Yeah, you go clash Taya, actually, because Bakura's out already. That's even better. Shows how little I think about ever going to a covered Pharaoh's tomb. So that will get the Taya clash, and there is no target in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 heroes. Taya's the 7th. Now, the problem here is the Dgessner is about to get his 3rd Nona strength. So I do think that, especially because of snagging that Millennium Ring when he did, Azure is not going to be able to win this fast enough. And we see a Twister there. So I think Dgessner probably just has this on lock in the next 2, maybe 3 turns. Mayu, though, could really mess it up. Were there only 2 cards in there? Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, because he pulled just the Unfurled Lotus. Okay, so that'll slow down Dgessner for at least a turn or 2. There is a possibility that Azure could really start to do some crazy Fate pressure. Killing Bakura over Ishizu here is interesting. These last 2 cards might not be they might not be whatever it is I'm thinking of. Tournament brackets anyway. Or they might be tournament brackets, I mean, which is why he wouldn't kill Ishizu. Although, to be honest, like, Bakura or Ishizu being played either way, they'd be played at the same spot. It doesn't really matter which one you kill in that regard. We're going to see the Noda move, not quite enough to be able to get the whatchamacallit. There was a tournament bracket, but he just wants to get Taya to cover that top fate again, and he does get it. So, I think that's probably game. I think that means Azure cannot fate because he doesn't have Millennium Rod. Yeah, that Millennium Rod pick, I think, cinched this game for Dgessner, essentially. Azure was not able to, it's one too much power. Azure was not able to get the board control that he needed in this mid to late game, and he didn't get a Millennium item out fast enough in the early game to work this out. And I think, no, Bakura is not in the discard pile anymore, but yeah, I mean, this is game, right? There's just an angry face in there, activate Nona, and then activate Deckham. Like, it's game anyway, so. Oh, does he have a way to open the top fate? Oh, no, he doesn't, but he's just opening it anyway. But this should be game. You just do an activate, put in an angry, and then activate Deckham. Yes, me mine! Me mine! Angry, angry, angry. And that is game. Winning in Unfurled Lotus. And so that first game will go to Dgessner. That was a really quick one, a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I don't think that this is a very great matchup for Merrick. He has to really set up his board with where heroes are in that early to mid game before Oculus reaches this point of just doing pile shuffles with Deckham. And then Azure didn't really have any power base or without his Millennium items to be easy picking up hero conversions. He just did not have the momentum needed to keep fate pressure on Dgessner here to stop him from getting Nona up 1 strength basically every other turn, if not 2 turns in a row. And so that's kind of how it goes. Even though he had a pretty good that early Kaiba pull, he didn't have much luck outside of the Kaiba pull, though. Dgessner did get a Shizu turn 1, and then Yugi's placement really slowed down Azure. If he had picked up Yugi a bit earlier, it could have helped him a lot more. We're going to see Azure ban Shishio. Interesting. There's been a good bit of Shishio, especially in qualifiers. So, it's not that unusual of a ban. And then Toguro. These guys hate me, bro. They hate my Bloodbath villains. Are they chatting with each other right now? Like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we just banned all of Chaos's villains? Oh, hi, Koji. You're up here for another tournament art game. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good dog. We're going to see Dgessner playing Yuno, who he played against Oculus in his first game in round 1, once again, proving the fraud allegations. And then Azure is going to counterpick with Light. Light is a pretty good counterpick here, especially with some early Shinigami Eyes or patient plottings. It is very difficult for Yuno until she gets to that mid to late game to reliably uncover her top fate. And there's always the possibility of Yuki covering Yuno's house. And every time Yuno is taking the time to go to a fate location instead of where Yuki is going, potentially, it just gives Light more opportunities to get a lot of progress and get some names. Plus, Light, one of the classic villains that loves going first because he gets to go to a gain 1 discard fate before it can get covered. You're going to see an Amnesia discard into a Kira Cult. Isn't this the same play that Lark didn't? Oh, double rejection. That's very unlucky. You probably put him at school here because that That gives good odds that he moves twice. It is just going to be a 1 move left here. And Dgessner is going to take his opportunity to go to Yuno's house. If Yuki is at school, there are like 6 or 7 cards that either put him at Yuno's house or school, which are locations that Dgessner wouldn't really like to be covered. And then it's like a 50-50 on if he goes to Abandoned Hotel or Yuki's house. And then if you're trying to go to one of those to like start making progress and but also want to get the Yuki strength loss, then it's kind of a coin flip. We did get L off the top, which is a little unfortunate for Azure. He's going to go to Yagami's residence and throw out a patient plotting with the Chief Yagami. Interesting. Interesting decision to just throw out the patient plotting, kind of forcing the Abandoned Hotel turn. And Dgessner did luck into his first -1 token as a result. And we're going to see Matsuda. Oh, that's going to give him patient plotting, though. You going to give him a name for that? Yeah, you can do it that way. That works. I'm interested that he would just throw out a patient plotting like that. I probably would have tried to hold on to the patient plotting to use it this turn, really. To use it off of him going off of Abandoned Hotel, especially if you get like a 4 strengther here at some point. We're going to see Kiyomi thrown down. Discarding the Death Note. That early Matsuda and early L has really messed with Azures. If you're only discarding Death Note, I probably would have gone to Light's apartment and tried to open up Yellow Box. And we are going to see that Dgessner will get another -1 token on Yuki, but will not be getting access to his fate, and he's just going to take a gain 2 turn here. Gaining 2 and getting a -1 on Yuki is not bad. Azure really not putting on any fate pressure right now, which I don't really recommend. We are going to see Ryuk thrown out to put the eyes on Kiyomi, which is really good, and then you can hero move L off of... Actually going to hero move Matsuda. Intriguing. We're going to see Yuki move to Yuki's house, and then this is a very weird game that Yuno is getting to do so much fate pressure. Azure isn't... I'm not sure what Azure's strategy is here. He's not, like, pushing any... He's not trying to push fate pressure to get himself set up for strong turns on names, and instead is just... I really don't understand the Matsuda move instead of L. And he's just kind of throwing out, like, Shinigami Eyes and Patient Plotting, kind of just hoping for a Fate deck whiff, I guess, and it's not happening. I'm no light aficionado, though, so what do I know? We're going to see Stalker into a Fake Defeat. Oh, no, into Axe, actually, just discarding the Fake Defeat and then drop to 6, of course. Azure's going to go to Task Force, get a Paranoid Prep, and then Justice planned out his first name. Really wants to see Nero Matsuda here. He did get Matsuda. That's wonderful for him. I would have moved Kiyomi to Light's apartment here, because you're going to kill Matsuda, and then you could, yeah, you're blocking the top fate. I don't play a lot of Light, but I feel like we're going to see Rock is there, and Azure is going to use it and put it back on top, so Yuki's going to Abandoned Hotel, so there's no way that Dgessner is getting strength down on him. And then Azure doesn't kill Matsuda. He's not in Amnesia. Does Azure play Light? Does anyone know? Does anyone know if Azure plays Light asking for a friend? Gonna see the Parent Skulls out here. Does he really want to discard that badly? Why is he doing this school instead of Yuki's house? Throwing down a Blade Trap, but even if you get rid of Stalker here, that's only going to be 3 strength with the Blade Trap plus Axe plus Yuno's base strength, so that won't kill Aru. He does have Parent Skulls, though, so he can just leave it there for as long as he wants. And we're going to see Stalker play out the Trick Reversal at the end and then drop to 6. Yeah, it would have been great if Matsuda was dead and Kiyomi was at Light's apartment and you had drawn 5 cards and then you can move to Light's apartment, get a name from the eyes, and then move L. We're going to see a Paranoid Prep play, which is going to trigger Trick Reversal to give a Fake Defeat back, which he just discarded like a turn or two ago. And then that was Azure's entire turn. I can't help but feel like I might be missing something. Maybe I'm missing something insane. We are going to see Yuno just go right back to Abandoned Hotel. Yuki moves over to Yuki's house. He has Stalker out right now, so he doesn't really have to worry about chasing, and we see the Blade Trap used on Parent Skulls. I think Dgessner is just trying to finish going through his deck and getting all of his setup. This has been a very weak light game thus far, so Mogi here is fantastic. You just put Mogi at the bottom fate and then move light into the bottom fate. And then Matsuda is here to stay. This is also fine because he's not going to be able to move to the open location for the whatchamacallit. I prefer to, in situations like this, especially with only one name, I prefer to get like a full sweep of heroes out and cover everything. Aru can be killed here at the cost of losing Stalker, which, since we're seeing a fake defeat play, I think is most likely going to happen. I think that Dgessner now, with Matsuda and Mogi both sitting out here, Dgessner is probably going to shift to a heavy focus on weakening Yuki right now and just keeping his territory clean. We're going to see Azure go over to Light's apartment. Are we going to move Ryuk to put some eyes on Chief Yagami to hopefully get a name next turn? Koji, my precious dog, is just laying at my feet. What a good boy. We are going to see the eyes on Chief Yagami and then a delete to kill Matsuda, which he... Am I stupid? Did I miss something with that Matsuda play earlier? With him not killing Matsuda? And now he's wasted 2 power to do it instead? It is going to be all clear, and then Aru gets killed by the Blade Trap because Yuno has enough strength, which means there's going to be a fate here, stopping Chief Yagami. You probably move him to Yagami residence here, send him back home. This is not looking good for Azure. This is not looking good for Azure at all. 4 heroes out, L on the top fate, double eyes blocked with Mellow coming up in one of the next 2, maybe 3 fates. Yuno has 3 strength by default, 4 with a drop on a trap. Seeing a bunch of cards thrown back in here with Selective Memory. Selective Memory is a deceptively good card. Koji, what's your problem, buddy? You okay? You good? And then that will be Dgessner's turn. I think we're about to see Yuki going down in strength a lot. Keigo at the top fate definitely isn't bad here. He's one of the only ones that can really hold it down at this point. A dead end could have also been really nice. And we're going to see a Desperate Gambit get Mogi's name into Watari. Good old Water Boy. And then that is going to be Azure's turn. I think he really put himself on the back foot with not doing that Kiyomi Matsuda play earlier and then getting L off the top fate. And there's Mellow, so it's probably going to kill Kiyomi. I don't hate killing Yagami instead, but I would probably just kill Kiyomi here with Mellow. You're more likely to get an accusation to put him back at Yagami residence where Chief Yagami is than you are to get an accusation to put him at the top fate and kill Kiyomi. We're going to see a Protect You. No Yukiteru Diary out yet, I'm realizing. Oh, I think he actually can't play it because he doesn't have a... We did lose Axe, by the way, and get -2 on Yuki there. I missed that. So he's going to play out Yukiteru Diary, yeah. We're going to see a delete here. Did get Mogi's name, which is very lucky, so can now gain 2 and do some movement. Now we're moving Kiyomi over, but now you don't want to move over the hero. He's going to choose to move over Ide to open up the 2 middle locations. Azure really needs to get some names. He needs to get to at least 5 names before Yuki gets to -8, and I don't feel confident in that much at all. I need my family members to stop calling me while I'm recording these. I'm so popular today for some reason. I keep getting calls. Always happens on the busiest of days, you know? Dgessner's going to throw down another Blade Trap. He can just leave it there forever with Parent Skulls until there's someone there he wants to kill with it. We're going to see the Fate. Manene on the Blade Trap is very good. Oh, he's actually going to use Yomotsu to move the Blade Trap out. I guess because he really doesn't want to start giving Keigo -1 every turn via Manene. I probably still would have thrown Manene at Yuno's house. The potential to move her later with, I think Ian Marco and Hayama are both still in here. And that puts down another 4 strength there. With Axe gone, Yuno's a little weak right now. Still probably going to get Knife out soon, but still. And so here we're going to see... Azure is checking to see what these last 2 fates are. I don't think we've seen Alias. This might be Alias Complications. Which, if it's Complications Alias, then probably what's going to happen is Shinigami Eyes is going to get discarded. Azure is checking Yuno's discard pile. And throwing out Misinfo in Last Resort. Okay. Hoping for a Justice planned next turn, I assume. I mean, Misinfo triggering would also be very good. There's a Strange Room, so that's going to put him over at Yuno's house. He is going to take the kill on Yamotsu to open up the gain 1 discard. Keigo should have -1 strength now, if they remember to do that. Discarding the Protect You is interesting. I would be trying to really push. We are seeing the double discard to move L. So now everyone is at Light's house? Is at Yagami residence? Light's parents' house. Oh, it's actually Imprisoned. Imprisoned was the one left. So getting rid of the misinfo, I'm not sure that was completely worth it, to be honest, at the cost of getting L out of the whatchamacallit. It does stop the Shinigami Eyes from hitting this turn, though, which is nice. I'm going to see a God of a New World for Paranoid Prep to get rid of those and get imprisoned out of here, and then move Watari over, and then you can move Kiyomi to yellow box. There's no way this is getting opened. There's simply no way that this will be opened. Yuno would be at 3 strength. Keigo, if Yuki moves out, would be at 6 if Yuno is at Yuno's house. So, oh, he's actually going to go back to his bottom fate next turn. That's interesting. I guess he's worried about the top deck accusation into killing Kiyomi while covering the top fate, which is fair. We're going to see Mur played and activated to get Knife, presumably. Yep, finally got Knife. So now Yuno is at base 3 strength as long as she keeps Katana 4 strength with the crossbow trigger. All right, Azure is finally getting back to getting some names. He does get Ide, so Ide gets to die at the end of this turn. There is a question on if he wants to be killing people here or try to leave them stacked there. Personally, with how I play Light, I would be looking at murder. I would be looking at killing. I think this is a pretty good Tsubaki, and then you shuffle back in Manene. Shuffle back in Manene to try and snipe Mur later. Yeah. I think that's the call. Keigo dies to this. I think Keigo lives this blade trap if Yuno moves there. If Yuno moves there, Yuno and Mur brings him down to 5. Yuno would only be at 4 strength, assuming she doesn't have Axe in hand, which I don't think she does, and she wouldn't be able to trigger the blade trap after playing Axe. We're going to see a desperate gambit, and it will get the accuse, so you probably accuse Mello and kill Kiyomi here. And that keeps Ide alive. He has gotten up to 4 names, but he has no allies to his name to help with any progress in that regard. That Keigo has been very good for Azure. It's allowed him to kind of get back into this game a good bit. But without Nier, Mello, or Watari's names... Oh, he still has another play here. I didn't realize that Azure was still going. And it is going to be social manip. You definitely take another name here. Very nice. So he did get up to 5, and Yuki is still at -4. So Azure really brought it back in those last, like, 3 turns. We are going to see if someone's after me, and that's going to get another -1 on Yuki, but this means that there's no fate pressure to try and take away this top fate. So Azure is going to... Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Just getting -1 on Yuki in exchange for Azure getting to go to his top fate while it's open and get the Ide kill at the same time. It does get to kill Tsubaki, so like that's not nothing, but... Was he at Abandoned Hotel? Did he not have a choice? I thought that he was at Yuki's house. He might have been at Abandoned Hotel. He might not have had a choice, actually. That's my bad, if so. Oh, we're seeing Happy End trigger to get rid of Hayama, which gets Ian Marco, which is just exponentially worse than Hayama. Yeah, try and figure out what all of those last 3 cards are to decide if you want to move Yuki or not. Not sure where you put Ian Marco here. I'm going to be honest, you probably put Ian Marco at the top fate. So that way, if Dgessner wants to take a turn to go there and kill Ian Marco and Kago, he doesn't get to just do it with Blade Trap and get the kill at the same, and get the fate at the same time. And then with Blade Trap gone, you can play Manene into Myrrh, like the following fate at the bottom fate. I don't love putting Ian Marco at Yuki's house. It does take away that activate, but I mean, it's a very easy kill. There's a decent chance. I don't know if there are still the double moves or the Yuki's house specific one here, but there's a decent chance at Dgessner getting to go here, kill Ian Marco while weakening Yuki. This is 5 names. Really needs to... It's not going to be much longer before this. I think this top fate can be opened right now, actually. I think Kago is in range of dying to Blade Trap if Yuno moves to Yuno's house. Because if Yuno moves there, then the diary card is played. Kago and Blade Trap trigger at the same time. So Dgessner gets to decide the order. We're going to see Rem thrown down. Putting Rem at Yellow Box, though? I think Rem would be much better suited at Light's apartment, to be honest. I guess he's wanting to kill Watari, open up the gain 2, and the hero move is the plan. We are going to see an I'm Surrounded. And then Kago is going to lose to, then the Blade Trap triggers, which means Kago will get killed by the Blade Trap clash. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. That's why I would have put Ian Marco here. He would have been able to clash Ian Marco at the end of his turn as a result of doing that, but it would have stopped this fate from happening, and then you can pull Manene, probably, on this next fate and kill Myrrh. Sorry, tickle in my throat. But, that's why I would have done the Ian Marco play differently, but at least there was no... We're going to see the Yuki Teru activate to look at that top card. And then just getting Control Console out there. Azure is going to go to Light's apartment and do the immediate Watari kill. He's got to get 2 schemes out, though. He's going to get to move Mello over. Going to throw out Battle of Wits. Very good one to have out, and then he gets to get the Ide kill. So cleaning up his territory a bit. Oh, look, it's all the dudes. Mello, L, and Nier. Still needs Nier and Mello's names, though, which is quite unfortunate. Because Nier as a target for accusation can be really annoying. We are going to see the explosion in C2. That's going to be another -1 on Yuki and another fate for Dgessner. He does get Matsuda back here, so he can fate lock him. Honestly, complications on Battle of Wits isn't the worst thing ever. It really depends on if you don't want to be fated or not. He's looking to see what the odds are that Azure has 2 schemes in hand. Because if he has 2 schemes, if Azure has 2 schemes in hand, discarding Battle of Wits is pointless because he just goes to Task Force and gets rid of it anyway. But he is just going to stop Azure's progress, which I think is probably the right play, assuming that it looks like Azure has to go into a reshuffle. The problem here is that Azure gets to go to Top Fate and discard hard for those schemes. Dgessner deciding if he wants to decoy trap, and he's actually going to axe instead because he wants to get the double strength loss on Yuki. Yuki's halfway down. We are going to see the yellow box turn here. I assume a big discard. Getting Mikami out. Yeah, and then the big discard. Missing an opportunity to try and patient plot, which is unfortunate. There's the Manene kill. You just take the kill on Myrrh here on Manene. There's not really anything you can do with either of these 2 fates to weaken Yuki up. Or to stop Yuki from getting hit, I mean. And then we're going to see Yuki's house. A rock is... Oh, not actually getting the Yuki strength loss here. Interesting. But this is 4 strength even without crossbow trigger. And then he gets to fake defeat to see these next 3. So honestly, not that bad. Still gets to kill Ian Marco. Gets to set up fake defeat to know where to go next. Yeah, I don't dislike that. Plus the turn at Yuno's house would have been lame. It wouldn't have been very good. And then we're going to see a Protect You, and the Protect You is going to activate Control Console to put Blade Trap back at Manene to open back up that top fate. And then clash with Ian Marco. Ooh, this is going to be a bit of a close game. I think it's still very much in Azure's favor, given the timing of that Imprisoned, but we are going to lose the Imprisoned here. And we can see a Ryuk move into Mikami for free eyes, actually, which Azure really needs right now. So next turn, he can go to those free eyes and hopefully get Nier or Mello's name for a kill. Or potentially if someone's thrown on, whatchamacallit, Aru is a great pull here. Aru is a very good pull here. Yeah, I would double cover Yuno's house to stop the Blade Trap into the Fate. Oh, it was all clear. I think you discard it so that Azure doesn't get to go to Yuki and get minus. The thing is Azure is going to know no matter what. He knows what the next two are, so he's going to be getting the -3 no matter what. I think you probably stop him from getting to kill Manene and Aru both at the same time while getting it. Oh, don't do that. Now he gets the -3 and he clears his board. You could have forced him to have to leave Aru or Manene in play instead, is what I probably would have done. But now instead he's going to get to do the Blade Clash kill on Manene, not even with the Clash, just the normal effect of it. And he gets the -3 on Yuki with ability, protect you, and axe. And then he still has 4 strength to punch Aru. We're going to see a no interference to gain 2 and then activate out another blade trap to kill Aru next turn. Or he doesn't need to kill Aru next turn. He's just going to leave that blade trap there to hold it. Yeah, I don't think that was the move. And then he's not going to go get any more fate pressure here. He's just going to try and rush getting the last of these names, which is fair. That's very unlucky, getting Watari. 1 in 3 chance of getting the name he didn't want there, and he got the one he didn't want. What are we paying 2 on here? I'm just playing Chief Yagami to move Ryuk into him to get another eye on him. Honestly, I would have played Yagami to Task Force HQ here to make sure that because now the top fate is prime real estate for covering. And we're going to see it is a Hinata kicks the key, so getting to fate while getting another -1 on Yuki. Yeah, I think, and then it's Mogi. I think that this is Dgessner's game pretty locked down. I think he's going to get a 2-0 here. I feel like Azure kind of flubbed a bit with the early light plays here. He tried to just throw out some like patient plottings and Shinigami eyes, hoping for some early names, but he didn't take the time to do some fates to lock down the top fate. He did get the double rejection whiff off the top 2, which was very unlucky. But even taking that into account, he didn't try to like get control of this top fate at all. He kind of just like threw caution to the wind, and Dgessner punished him for it every time. We're gonna see Ryuk moved, and then playing Misa into putting another set of eyes here. Oh, you know. I don't think it's possible. No, wait, no, it's just game here. It doesn't matter. He'd get into Showdown next turn, but it doesn't matter because if Yuki moves here, it's over. And I think Dgessner knows that that's where this card is going. Yep, Explosion in C2. That's game. I didn't see the gas trap set up. But that will be game for Dgessner. That is a 2-0 for him, giving him the dub. I feel like Azure kind of messed up the early game with Light here a little bit, and that kind of snowballed for Yuno in the mid to late game that just let her run away with it. He did get pretty close at the end here. If he could have had 3 more turns, maybe, it would have depended on what fates came his way, but he could have maybe pulled it out. But, you know, it is what it is. So that'll be a 2-0 win for Dgessner. Let's go take a look at Ye Olden bracket. And so our first semifinalist is decided. Dgessner will be going on to the semifinals. Azure, unfortunately, has been knocked out. Great games between the two of them, though. And we have our first round 2 game in the books. So I hope you're all enjoying Tournament Arc, and we'll have more round 2 games coming very soon. Look forward to it. Until then, farewell.